Welcome to VLearn's online class of MCS 003. In today's session, we will discuss about the intelligent agents, and the topics to be covered under this session are agents and rationality, tasks, environments of agents, the structure of agents, and different forms of learning agent. Now, first of all, what is agent? The agent may be thought of an entity that acts generally on the behalf of someone else. More precisely, an agent is an entity that perceives its environment through the sensors and acts on the environment through the actuators. Agents are used to provide a consistent viewpoint on various topics in the field of AI. Agents require essential skills to perform the task that require intelligence, and intelligent agents use methods and techniques from the field of artificial intelligence. Agent is an entity that interacts with its environment. Agents have perceptions through the sensors and action through the effectors or actuators. There are various examples of agents like human agent, robot, software agent. Human agent like eyes, ears, skin, taste, buds, etc. for sensors, and have hands, fingers, legs, mouth, etc. for actuators powered by muscles. Similarly, robots have camera, infrared bumpers, etc. for sensors, and grippers, wheels, light, speakers for actuators often powered by motors. If we talk about a software agent, then it is a system which, when given a goal to be achieved, could carry out the details of the appropriate operations, and further, in case it gets stuck, it can ask for advice and can receive it from the humans, may even evaluate the appropriateness of the advice and then act suitably. Software agents function as sensors. Information provided as input to the functions in the form of encoded bit strings or symbols, and functions as actuators, and result delivers the output. If we talk about the agent and its environment, then an agent perceives its environments through the sensor. The complete set of inputs at a time is called a percept, and the current percept or a sequence of percept may influence the actions of an agent. It can change the environment through the actuators. An operation involving an actuator is called an action, and actions can be grouped into the action sequences. Next is agents and their actions. A rational agent does the right thing, the action that leads to the best outcome under the given circumstances. An agent function maps percept sequence of actions, that is abstract mathematical descriptions. An agent program is a concrete implementation of the respective function. It runs on a specific agent architecture, or you can see the platform, and the problems associated are what is the right thing and how do you measure the best outcome. Now, what is the criteria to evaluate the performance of the agents? The criteria for measuring the outcome and the expense of the agent, often subjective but should be objective. It is task dependent and the time may be important. Some of the performance evaluation examples are vacuum agent, that is number of tiles cleaned during a certain period. It is based on the agent's report or validated by an objective authority. Then, does not consider expenses of the agent, side effects, energy, noise, loss of useful objects, damaged furniture, scratched floor, etc. It might lead to unwanted activities. The agent re-cleans clean tiles, cover only part of the room, and drops dirt on tiles to have more tiles to clean, etc. Now, what is rational agent? Rational agent selects the action that is expected to maximize its performance. It is based on a performance measure and it depends on the perceived sequence, background knowledge and feasible action. So we can see that the rationality deals with trying to maximize the output on the basis of current input, environment condition, available actions and past experience. Now there are several considerations of rational agent, like performance measure for successful completion of task, that is complete perpetual history, background knowledge, that is especially about the environment dimension, structure, basic laws, task under user and other agents, and feasible actions, that is capabilities of agent. In short, we can say that the rationality depends on the performance measure chosen to judge the agent's activity, the agent's knowledge of the current environment or of the world in which it exists, the length of perceived sequence of the agent and the set of actions available to the agents. Now next is agent and its environment. The task environment or problem environment are the environments which include the elements involved in a problem for which agents are thought of as solutions. The task environments will vary with every new task or problem for which an agent is being designed. Specifying the task environment is a long process which involves looking at different measures or parameters. You can see the environments of agent includes the sensors, effectors, actions, percepts from environment and actions to the environment. Now, design an intelligent agent. An agent perceives its environment through the sensors and act in that environment with its effectors. Agent gets percepts at one at a time and maps this percept sequence to action, that is one action at a time. There are various properties, that is autonomous, interact with the other agent plus the environment, reactive to the environment and proactive, that is goal directed. If we talk about the ideal rational agent, then on the basis of evidence provided by the percept sequence and whatever built-in knowledge the agent has. Now, what do you think? Is this an acceptable definition? Not. Looking left when crossing the street. If I don't see a car coming from the left, it is rational to cross the street. Number should be considered taking information gathering actions. There is boundary rationality, that is limited or costly computation time, limited or costly memory, etc. If we talk about the agent, then agent is an architecture plus program. Now, if we talk about the task environment of agent, then it includes the first, that is P's, that is performance environment, actuators and sensors. For designing an agent, the first requirement is to specify the task environment to the maximum extent possible. The task environment for an agent to solve one type of problem may be described by four major parameters, that is performance. Performance means what is actually the expected performance. Environment, that is the world around the agent. Actuators, which includes the entities through which the agent may perform actions. And sensors, which describes the different entities through which the agent will gather information about the environment. And these four parameters collectively known as P's. Now, there are different types of task environments like fully observable and partially observable, static and dynamic environment, episodic versus sequential environment, deterministic and stochastic environment, single agent versus multi-agent environment, and discrete versus continuous environment. Now, first of all, fully observable versus partially observable environment. Now, what is fully observable? If the agent knows everything about its environment or the world in which it exists through its sensor, then we can say that the environment is fully observable. But the fully observable environments are found rarely in reality. If we talk about the partially observable environments, then it is that in which the agent can sense some of the aspects or features of the world around it, but not all, because of any number of reasons, including the limitations of its sensors. Normally, there are greater chances of finding the partially observable environments in reality. Next one is static versus dynamic environment. Static means fixed. So the static environment means an environment which does not change while the agent is operating. Now, the implementing an agent in a static environment is relatively very simple, as the agent does not have to keep the track of the changes in the environment around it. If we talk about the dynamic environment on the other hand may change with time on its own or because of the agent's action. But implementing an agent in dynamic environment is quite complex, as the agent has to keep the track of the changing environment around it. Next one is episodic versus sequential environment. If we talk about episodic environment, the agent's experience is divided into episodes. An agent's action during an episode depends only on that episode, because subsequent episode do not depend on the previous episode. But if we talk about the sequential environment, then there are no episodes and the previous actions could affect the current decision or action, and further the current action could affect the future actions or decisions. Next one is deterministic and stochastic environment. In deterministic environment, it is the one that the current state and the current set of actions performed by the agent will completely determine the next state of the agent's environment. Otherwise, the environment is said to be stochastic. Next one is single agent versus multi-agent environment. The single agent environment is the simplest possible environment, as the agent is the only active entity in the whole environment and it does not have to synchronize with the actions and activities of any other agent. But if we talk about the multi-agent environment, then if there is a possibility of other agents also existing in addition to the agents being described, then the task environment is said to be multi-agent environment. But in multi-agent environment, the scenario becomes quite complex, as the agent has to keep track of the behavior and actions of the other agents also. Next, discrete versus continuous environment. The word discrete and continuous are related to the way time is treated, that is, whether time is divided into slot, that is discrete quantities, and it is treated as continuous quantity, that is continuous. For example, the task environment of a boundary following robot or a chess playing agent is a discrete environment, because there are finite number of discrete states in which the agent may find itself. On the other hand, an automated public transport driver's agent environment is continuous, because the actions of the agent itself as well as the environment around it are changes continuously. Now, there are various examples of task environment, that is planning crossword puzzle, medical diagnosis, playing tic-tac-toe, playing chess, and driving automobile. Now, first of all, crossword puzzle. Now, as we already discussed that the environment is single agent and static, which make it simple as there is no other players, that is agents and environment does not change, but the environment is sequential in nature, as the current decision will affect all the future decisions also. On the simpler side, the environment of a crossword puzzle is fully observable as it does not require remembering of some facts or decisions taken earlier, and also the environment is deterministic as the next state of the environment fully depends on the current state and the current action taken by the agent. Next is medical diagnosis. The first problem in the task environment of the agent performing in medical diagnosis is to decide whether the environment is to be treated as single agent or multi-agent one. If the other entities like the patients or staff members also have to be viewed as agents, then it will be a multi-agent environment, otherwise it will be a single agent environment. Next is playing tic-tac-toe. As it is two-player game, so it is obviously the environment is multi-agent, and moreover both the players try to maximize their chances of winning, so it is a competitive one. Further, the environment is fully observable environment. Next is playing chess. The environment of chess playing agent is also the same as is that of the agent playing tic-tac-toe. It is also two-player, that is multi-agent game. Some people treat the environment as fully observable, but actually for some of the rules require remembering the game history, so the full environment is not observable from the current state of the chessboard. Next one is the structure of agents. Now there are two parts of the agent or its structures. That is a hardware device with sensors and actuators in which that agent will reside, called the architecture of the agent. And second one is an agent program that will convert or map the percepts into the actions. Also, the agent program and its architecture are related in the sense that for the different agent architecture, a different type of agent program is required and vice versa. There are general categories of the agent based on their agents problems. That is simple reflex agents, model-based reflex agent, goal-based agents, and utility-based agent. First of all, we will discuss about the simple reflex agent. These are the agents or the machines that have no internal state, that is they don't remember anything and simply react to the current percepts of the environment. An interesting set of agents can be built. The behavior of the agents in which can be captured in the form of a simple set of functions of their sensory inputs. One of the earliest implement agent of this category was Machina Speculatrix. This was a device with wheels, motor, photocells and vacuum tubes, and was designed to move in the direction of light of less intensity and was designed to avoid the direction of the bright light. The boundary following robot is also an SR agent. Although implementation of SR agent is simple, yet on the negative side this type of agents have very limited intelligence because they do not share or remember anything. As a consequence, they cannot make use of any previous experience. In summary, they do not learn. Also, they are capable of operating correctly only if the environment is fully observable. You can see the diagram of the structure of the simple reflex agent, that is agent and task environment. The agent perceives through the sensors about the current state of the world. Then actions to be taken are decided on the basis of actuators and check the condition action rules. Next one is model-based reflex agent. Simple reflex agents are not capable of handling the task environments that are not fully observable. In order to handle such environment properly, in addition to the reflex capability, the agent should maintain some sort of internal state in the form of a function of the sequence of percepts recovered up to the time of action by the agent. Further, in order to reflect property, the unobserved environment, the agent is expected to have a model of the task environment encoded in the agent's program, where the model has a knowledge about the process by which the task environment involves independent of the agent and the effects of the action of the agent have on the environment. Thus, in order to handle properly the partial observability of the environment, the agent should have a model of task environment in addition to reflex capability, and such agents are known as model reflex agent. Next one is goal-based agent. The goal-based agents are driven by the goal they want to achieve, that is, their actions are based on the information regarding their goals and in addition to, of course, other information in the current state. You can see their actions are based, the actions that to be taken are based on the information regarding their goals to be achieved. This goal information is also a part of the current state description and it describes everything that is desirable to achieve the goal. So goal-based agent is an agent that is required to find the path to reach a city. As the goal-based agents may have to reason before they take an action, these agents might be slower than other types of agent but will be more flexible in taking actions as their decisions are based on the acquired knowledge which can be modified also. Next is utility-based agents. The goal-based agent success or failure is judged in the term of the capability for achieving or not achieving its goal. But a utility-based agent, a goal-based agent for a given pair of environment state or possible input only knows whether the pair will lead to the goal state or not. But if we talk about the utility agent, a utility-based agent uses a utility function which maps each of the world states of the agent to some degree of success. If it is possible to define the utility function accurately, then the agent will be able to reach the goal quite efficiently. A utility-based agent is able to make decisions in case of conflicting goals and generally choosing the goal with higher success rating or value. You can see the utility function, it uses a utility function which maps each of the world state of the agent to some degree of success. The degree of success achieves consequent upon this action. Next category is learning agent. The ability of an agent to succeed in an uncertain and unknown environment depends on its learning capabilities, that is, its capability to change approximately its knowledge of the environment. For an agent with learning capability, some initial knowledge is coded in the agent program and after the agent starts operating, it learns from its actions the evolving environment and the actions of its competitors and the advisories, etc., to improve its performance in ever-changing environments. Now, the learning agent consists of mainly four components. That is the learning component. It is a component of agent which, on the basis of percepts and the feedback from the environment, gradually improves the performance of the agent. Second one is performance component. It is a component from which all actions originate on the basis of external percepts. Next is critique component. This component finds out how well the agent is doing with respect to the certain fixed performance standard, and it is also responsible for any future modification in the performance component. Next one is problem generator component, and this component is responsible for suggesting actions in order to gain some fresh and innovative experience. Thus, this component allows the agent to experiment a little by traversing sometimes uncharted territories by choosing some new and suboptimal actions. Now, there are different forms of learning in agent. There are 5 learning methods total, that is rote learning or memorization, that is the simplest form of learning which involves least amount of inferencing. Next one is learning through instructions. This type of learning involves more inferencing through the knowledge in order to be operational and should be integrated in the existing knowledge base. Next one is learning by analogy, which involves development of new concepts through already known similar concepts. Next one is learning by induction. It is the most frequently used form of learning employed by the human being, which involves inductive reasoning. That is a form of reasoning under which a conclusion is drawn on the basis of the large number of positive examples. And finally is deductive learning, which is based on the deductive inference and irrefutable form of reasoning. By irrefutable form of reasoning, we mean that the conclusion arrived at through deductive reasoning process is always correct if the hypotheses are correct. So that's all about the agent, that is intelligent agents and their environments, and different types of agent and different types of learning. So that's all for this session. Thank you.